Hi, my name is Rose. Welcome to Yarn Craftee. I am super excited to guide you through how to crochet these cute little bookmarks. So this pattern uses lace weight yarn, also called fingering weight yarn, to keep the stitches really light, to keep the entire piece light and to keep the stitches flat. So that when you place it within a book, it stays, it doesn't become so puffy or bulked up in the book. You can find the free written pattern on my blog www.yarncrafty.com, or for your ease you can purchase an ad-free version on Ravelry or Etsy. Okay, this tutorial will guide you using a DK weight yarn so that you can see the stitches clearly, and follow through. All right, before we dive in, like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Starting with DK yarn and 3.25 millimeter hook, let's start by making a slip knot. Now we're going to chain 1, 2, chain 2, and single crochet into the second chain. So we're skipping the first one. Chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to be making 3 single crochet stitches into this one chain here because we are increasing, right? Chain 1 and turn. We have 3 stitches here, right? Into the first stitch we'll make 2 single crochet stitches. Whenever we make 2 stitches into one, we are increasing it. And in the next, 1 single crochet. In the last stitch, 2 single crochets because we're increasing at the sides. Alright, now we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1 and turn. Let's repeat this again. 2 single crochets into the first stitch. One single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And 1 single crochet into last stitch. Pardon, I mean 2 single crochets into the last stitch because we are still increasing at the sides. Alright, so we have repeated this. Now we want to repeat this up to row 11. So what that means is after we finish, you finish one row, chain 1 and turn, and repeat again. 2 single crochets into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into each of the stitches, and 2 single crochets into the last stitch. So we keep repeating this until you have 12 rows. Now row 12, let's do another increase here. So 2 single crochets into the first stitch, single crochet into the next stitches. That'll be into the next 19 stitches, and 2 single crochets into the last stitch. Now we have 23 stitches because 19 here plus 2, 21 plus 2, 23. Chain 1 and turn. Row 13. Row 13, no increase on this row, so single crochet into the first stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, and we'll be making 1 single crochet into each of the stitches across the row. So that means row 13 will be 23 stitches, the same as row 12. Okay, row 13 done. Row 14 is increase. So 2 single crochets into the first stitch, single crochet into each of the next 21 stitches, except the last one. In this last one, we will finish with 2 single crochets. And that's it for row 14. We have 25 stitches now. Chain 1 and turn. So from now on, we're not going to be increasing anymore. We're going to be making even stitches and decreases. So row 15, single crochet into the first stitch. It's just like row 13, where we made single stitches across the row, single crochet into the next stitch and into the remaining stitches across the row. So it's going to be 25 stitches when you finish row 15. Heading on row 16. Row 16, we're going to decrease. So this is the first stitch, yeah? We're going to leave that and go into the next stitch and do a single crochet into the next stitch and each of the stitches across. Remember that you can find this pattern on my blog www.yarncraftee.com. So please go ahead and go through that written pattern. End of row 16. We want to decrease. Whenever we have 2 stitches left on the row and we need to decrease, we'll skip the one right here and then into the second one we go and finish that row with the single crochet stitch. Alright, heading on row 17. Row 17, only single stitches. So single crochet into the first stitch, in the next stitch, and into each of the stitches across the row. Alright, heading on row 18. On chain 1 turn, row 18, we're going to skip and we're also going to split this to get those arches for the heart. And so now we're going to do single crochet into the second stitch, because we're going to skip into the second stitch and in the next 9 stitches. So that means we'll do single crochet into 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 10. Chain 1 and turn. We're going to skip the first stitch here and single crochet into the remaining stitches, into the remaining 9 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. Row 20, skip the first stitch, single crochet into the next stitch and 7 stitches across the row. Skip the first one here. That means we're still decreasing on this end. And the remaining 7 stitches, which means 8 stitches altogether. Heading on to row 21, chain 1 and turn. Row 21, skip the first stitch and single crochet into the next stitch and across the row. Skip, single crochet, and single crochet into the rest as well. So you're going to have 7 stitches on this row. Row 22, chain 1 and turn. Skip the first stitch, single crochet into the next 4 stitches, skip first stitch, single crochet into 1, 2, 3 and 4. We have 2 stitches left up here. We'll skip this one and go into the last stitch. Means we decreased. chain 1 and turn. Row 23, single crochet into the first stitch, into the next 2 stitches as well. We have 2 stitches left. Skip the next stitch and decrease. Make your last stitch into the last stitch. And there it is. We have completed one side of the heart. Now we're going to do the next one. Okay, we're doing the other half of the heart. So you want to look at row 19, pardon, row 18. This is the back of row 18. How do I know? Because this is the front, the right side of row 17 facing me. So I need to turn it. And start my row. There will be 1 stitch left. Okay, we're not working into that stitch. So we're going to start in here in the next stitch. All right. We're going to join the yarn. Chain 1. Now single crochet into that same stitch. All right, this same place where we inserted the hook, joined the yarn, and chained one. Now let's continue along the row to make single crochet stitches. We're going to fill this row with single crochet stitches, however, except the last 2 stitches, because we're going to decrease on this side. Remember, just like we did on this side here, we need to have the same number so that it can align well. Alright, I have 2 stitches left. Notice I'm carrying the tail. It saved me time and energy when the whole thing is completed. Okay, so 2 stitches left. Let's decrease, skip 1 stitch, and into the next we go, and decrease. So that's the end of row 18 for the other half of the heart, the curve. Alright, chain 1 and turn. Single crochet into the first stitch, and next 7 stitches we're going to decrease, right? So single crochet into the first stitch here, and the next 7 stitches. Alright, we have 2 stitches left. This and the very first one from the beginning. We'll skip this 1 stitch and go into the last stitch on there. Heading onto row 20, chain 1 and turn, and single crochet in the first stitch, and next 6 stitches. Two stitches left, skip 1 stitch, and single crochet into the last stitch. Chain 1 and turn. Row 21. Single crochet into the first stitch, and next 5 stitches. And 5. So we have 2 stitches left, and skip 1 stitch, single crochet into the last stitch. Alright, chain 1 and turn. Row 22. Skip the first stitch, single crochet into the next 4 stitches. Skip in the next 4 stitches. Two stitches left, skip 1 stitch, and single crochet into the last stitch. Chain 1 and turn. Row 23. Skip the first stitch, single crochet into the remaining stitches. Alright, so we're not going to skip, we're not going to snip the yarn here. We're going to continue to work this, but first I'm going to weave this in. So now that we've woven that in, let's continue from right here. First things first, I'm going to take note of these 4 stitches up here and the sides here. So what we can do is, so we have 4 stitches here and we have 23 stitches all together, right, all the way down. And same with all the 23 stitch rows all the way down. So let's start. Here we are in the last stitch we just did, and on this next stitch row we will go single crochet, and on the next, take your time to do this, single crochet, and on the next, on this side you want to have let's see, so we have 18, 19, 20, 21, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have 6 rows for the split here, but we're going to make 5 because we started in the second stitch row, right? So we want to have 5. So that will be a guide for you, so you're counting and then making sure that you have the same number of stitches for the sides. Let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the 5th one into this last place here. Here we go. And now we want to do a slip stitch. Remember this stitch that we didn't touch at all? We're going to go in there now and do a slip stitch. Proceeding. See, we have our first stitch row here, but the wrong side is facing us. So single crochet in there. And the next one, you just want to make sure that you have 5 stitches here also, just like you have for this side. That's 2 and 3 and 4. I'm just using the stitch rows as a guide and knowing the number that I need to make, so that helps. And 5. This is the 6th row here, up here, with these 4 stitches and 5 there. Okay, now let's work at the top. We're going to make 4 single crochets up here. Two. And we will come down again in the next stitch row here. Go 1. Okay, I'm on the right track. That's the next stitch row. 1. And the next one. 2. And the next one, which is the wrong facing, the right wrong side facing me. 3. And the next would be the right side facing me. The last was the wrong side, and then the next is the right side. Okay, so I'm just going to be doing that one by one. Okay, this tail came out of nowhere. Anyways, let's continue one by one. We'll be doing them into each of the stitch rows. So know that after you do this, because we have 23 rows here, we're going to have 22 rows, not counting these 1, 2, 3, this last stitch of the 4th stitch here. Okay, so now on the right side, it's facing me. Anyways, it's not about the wrong or the right side, it's just knowing the stitch row that you need to work into. Just gradually do this Alright, now we are down here, and if you look well, you will notice that this is actually the first single crochet we made on row 1, okay, and it created that gap because we have 3 single crochet stitches in there. So we're going to go back into this space right here. Into the space we go, single crochet, and now chain 1, 2, 3. You want to go back into the same place again and make a single crochet. Alright, I need to carry this tail, so I'm going to bring it forward, single crochet. There we go. If you want, you can place a stitch marker at the side here, in here, so to guide you. Now let's continue to work single crochet. So do not forget this row, single crochet in there. The number of single crochet stitches you have here, the same number of single crochet stitches you want to have here. Single crochet. Single crochet. And I have one last stitch to do here, which is the 22nd stitch. Goes right up there. So 22 stitches, 22 stitches. I'm coming up here to work into the last 4 rows. So I'm just going to go straight into that first single crochet stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so this is it so far. Now what we want to do, we want to make 2 of this, 2, join them together. So you can make it in the same color, or you can use another color. Just if you're willing to experiment. So let's make another one. Alright, now that we're done with both pieces, we want to start to join. What you want to do is count from here, okay? This very single crochet that we have here, count all the way up to 15. You want to do the same thing from here, the single crochet in here, all the way up to 15. Be sure that the wrong side of the single crochets are facing out, the wrong sides. So we're going to start to join. I put the hook there so I could mark it. We will join from the back loop of one to the back loop of the next. Okay, and let's continue the back loop of one to the back loop of the next stitch. There we go. Do that slowly in through each stitch, back loop, back loop. Alright, we're here now at the chain 3. We'll also do the same. Do the same for the chains also. And let's continue to join the single crochet stitches. Okay, right here. all the way to the 15th row. Oh, my bad. So you want to also do the same here. Let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I need to place a stitch marker here. I'll place that later, but I'll just put in my hook for now so that I know where to stop on the side as well. So 15 rows, join the 3 chains, and 15 rows on the side. Once we finish this, I'm going to quickly pass it back again because I want a very firm finish. So I would encourage you to do the same thing also, to pass it all the way back again. Just follow each of the loops you see here at the top of these 2 lines. Just follow them, just go in and join. So once we finish all the joinings, we're going to have something like this, and we will turn it inside out because this is the way that we want it to be. Okay? Alright. So you see that it's still kind of puffy. What you can do, you lightly block it. You can lightly block it, or you can place like a hot cup of tea over it. It's going to, you know, press it down. But let's say you wanted to do something a little fancy, like adding this little tail at the end of it. I'm gonna show you how to do that. Of course, this is totally optional. I mean, that's just something fancy that I thought to add. So we'll go in here. After you turn it inside out, do you see the edges where we didn't touch the front loop at all? So it's gonna have this loop. Alright, so we're going to go in here because you notice that there is a gap here, right? There is a gap here in that very first single crochet row. So let's go in there. Chain 1 and 2, and now let's make double crochet stitches into that place. Let's make 4 double crochets. Double crochets, and let's go in here and make a slip stitch. So let's make another 4 double crochets all in that same stitch. Two, 3, and number 4, fourth double crochet, and there we go. We'll snip the yarn and weave in the tails.